should be there.
Oh, it
It's
is.
good.
Is it?
Perfect.
Okay, very
Yeah.
good. Okay,
Okay.
very good. Let me share my window here. Okay, and just let me know if you can see that.
Yes.
Okay,
You can see it.
perfect.
Perfect. Mhm.
Okay, so welcome to Wakelet. We're going to build learning experiences with Wakelet, and I'm going to keep this as short as possible. The majority of you will be watching the recording, so we just want to do a quick overview of what Wakelet is, and I'm going to leave you with a couple of actionable items that you can take to your classroom for extended learning, really at your pace. So to get started, you will have all of the resources that I go over today. And the very first thing we want you to do is we want you to click on this Google form, because what will happen is when we gather your information, you will be entered for a chance to win swag. So one of the things we love to do as a community team is we love to give away swag to our users, our new users, and our ambassadors and community members. So make sure you fill out that form. It'll ask you a couple of questions. It should not take you very long. But once we have closed the form, then I will go in and I will pick winners, and I will notify you via email of what you have won. The next thing you'll do is you want to click on Wakelet. So you either want to sign up or sign in. So you may be signing in because you have an account previously, or you may be brand new to the platform. So you'll click that sign up button. It will take you to wakelet.com, and it will walk you through that sign up process. Once you get into Wakelet, what I want to do is kind of give you a background of what Wakelet is. So you can already see this is a collection. So I've started with a collection, and I am presenting directly from this collection. You'll notice that I have any type of media, multimedia that I want to put into this collection. These dividers here, I actually created using Canva. So we have an integration with Canva, and I designed these little dividers so that they would be on brand. So that's something that a lot of our users like to do. But essentially what Wakelet is it is a platform for you and your students to save, organize, present, share, and showcase Wakelet. So you can go in and you can save any link. So anything you're using within your district right now, you can save that content. You can save other collections. So if you want to save the collection that I'm sending you, you can put that into your bookmarks. Then you can take all of those links and multimedia and put them into collections, the collection that we're looking at right now. You can organize your collection in any way that you want. There are multiple ways to do this. It could be topic, subject, lesson, grading period. It's really whatever you want to do. So you are the creator. You have a blank canvas or blank collection, and you can create really whatever your imagination is limited by. Each of those collections can be put into a profile. So the collection that you create can be published to your main profile. And so that's what you're seeing on the right-hand side. Multiple collections that are shared publicly make up a profile. So again, those collections could be organized by project, topic, subject, digital tool. There are so many ways to organize on Wakelet, and that's really the beauty of it. It is so flexible. No matter what your role in the school is, it will help you. So here are some integrations that we have with Wakelet, as along with some tools. Now, we could not put all of the tools here because truly Wakelet works with anything that you're using. So you may recognize some of these tools, but there's so much more out there. I have worked for Wakelet for almost 3 years, but I have been using Wakelet since 2017, and I have not come across a single thing that will not go into a Wakelet collection to share out. You'll notice on these graphics, I'm able to pop them out and then go back into my collection, so your students can do that as well. When you sign up, you will see a screen, and on the right, left-hand side, you will see search and explore. So you can search any topic, so any word that you want to search. You might be wanting to search collections that have to do with AI. You may want to search collections having to do with robots or the sun or the phases of the moon. There's everything out there. So our users, our community members actually are creating collections, making them public, and that is where you're getting those search results. Explore is going to give you different templates depending on which account you're logged into. So we have different levels of accounts, right? We have the free account, we have individual pro, and then we have a couple of different levels for school districts or campuses. So depending on which account you're in, you will see different templates. I have premium templates showing up here. You may have the free templates. Some people have district templates, but we're all seeing App Smash templates and we're all seeing Student Ambassador Program. And you can scroll over to the right to see more examples. You'll also see top collections from the Wakelet team. So that's something to really keep in mind. You can find a lot of inspiration here. So if you're looking for other librarians and how they're using it, type in a keyword that would make sense for you, and that collection is going to show up as well when you search for it. So those two places are where you're going to find your inspiration. Just looking at this picture, you have bookmarks and you have collections. And of course, the collection is what I'm using today. So you can create collections today. We want you to do that. If you are watching this video, you can be creating collections while you hear me on the video, and you can pause and rewind or fast forward as you need to. This is just a really quick overview of what a lot of our educators and users and administrators are using Wakelet for, but there is a very big discussion right now on alternative or authentic assessments. So reflection boards, journals, group projects, collaborating, tracking progress, inquiry-based assignments, student learning portfolios, real world problem solving, choice boards. There's so much that you can actually do with Wakelet, and it really supports that alternative or authentic assessment with your students. So I've included a couple of activities here, but before we look at those activities, what I want to remind you about is when you're creating a collection, the very first thing you need to remember is the purpose. So I'm always going to lead and model that you need to be looking at your state standards or your ISTE standards. There are so many standards that align with what you're doing between these two links. So if you're not familiar with the ISTE standards, I will tell you from experience, everything on those ISTE standards for students is going to support your TEKS. Okay, so no matter what you're teaching, they will work hand in hand. Now, from experience, I have created single collections that help me have my students meet multiple learning objectives at a single time. So that's the real beauty of Wakelet. So this is where you're going to start with that purpose, with that end goal. So I'm going to show you some examples here. This first example is just from one of our Wakelet certified trainers, Erin. She had a teacher and her class actually go in and do climate vlogs. And so you'll see she has put those learning goals and objectives here at the top. Erin is not from Texas, so you may not recognize these. And then she has added a PDF. So PDFs will go in here. Here is a graphic, again, just like I showed you before, with some instructions. So it's giving students instructions. Then you'll notice they are using the digital tool Flip. So a lot of our users like to app smash with other tools. And in this case, there's a lot of showing of learning going on here. So you can play these videos. These students can create in the best way that they see fit. If they don't want to show their face, they don't necessarily have to. Flip will work with audio only. So there's lots of tools out there that you could utilize this idea with, but I wanted to give you that example because it really shows how students are showing and illustrating that learning. Here I have a math example. This is also from a certified trainer. This is Alex Isaacs, and he had Math 8 students. And again, he's thinking through those learning standards, right? You can see that's the very first thing he has here. He has popped those in. Again, he's not from Texas. He's from New York. actually New Jersey. He is app smashing with Moat, and if you hit play, you are going to hear him tell his students exactly what they need to do for this project. And then he's added all of the students' graphics that they created based on those instructions. So they are able to illustrate those math concepts. And this is just a really great way for each other to see, for all the students to see their learning. You could even pull in peer-to-peer feedback if you wanted, which is a really great way to complete that learning cycle. So the next example, I really, really love this one because this is a student self-advocacy example. This is portfolios in education, and this also comes from one of our Wakelet certified trainers. She is in New York. So she really wanted to make something that would help her students who are going to IEP meetings, for example. So this is an example of a really easy portfolio. So they're putting together a This Is Me example. So it's all about that student. Here are some other examples. This is me. This is my story. So these are other Wakelet collections. So you'll notice they are nesting dolls, collections inside of collections. Then there's work experience. So if I click on work experience, this takes me to a collection that was created from a student who is transitioning to this grocery store job and showcasing exactly what that student is doing, what they're learning. There's so many ways that you could show how this is working. But there's another example for you depending on the students you're working with. Next, we have another example of a portfolio. So this is a first grader using Wakelet to discuss character traits. So they do something called the leader in me. This is actually my coworker, Ryan McGinnis's daughter, Kennedy. And you can see that she's created a collection on, she's going to show the traits she's picked in everyday life. So the very first one is leadership. And she recorded a video here in Flip explaining which traits she illustrates on a daily basis. I won't play this video for you. You guys have the link. You can go in and watch this and see how she's constructed that. She's added a photo of her actual certificate. She has added a picture of something that the teacher sent home. So it doesn't have to be super creative. It can just be a snap on the student iPad, on a Chromebook, whatever they have at hand. You'll notice she's also added in text. And if you're not familiar with Immersive Reader, which you probably are, but Wakelet has Immersive Reader built in. So students can go into Immersive Reader, have this text read to them, translate it into so many different languages, also use it to help them accommodate with different accommodations that they are needing. It really puts the responsibility on them to do that. So this is a really beneficial tool here. You'll notice that Kennedy also added some pictures of herself, more text here, more pictures, and then what she wants to work on, she's actually written out the things that she wants to work on. So again, Kennedy is in first grade. This is a really great example that Wakelet really not only stands the test of time, but it can go across all age ranges. So we're going to level up a little bit. I'm going to show you this example again from a Wakelet certified trainer. This is from Stevie. She has a collection called Student Driven Podcasts, and this is really student-led podcasts. So they use Wakelet, and she has put together her contact information in case you want to reach out to her. She will help you, even with this collection right here, how do you teach podcasts? Why should you do podcasts? Here's the research. Have your students research. Have them plan together. Have them start the podcast. So she's pulled in an NPR article here. Roles that she's assigned different students while they're putting together the podcast, how they're interviewing community members, recording, and then publishing and sharing. So the interesting thing is she's kind of guided you along through this process, and she's also added the podcast here so that you can go in and take a look. But Wakelet is a really great way to even show your students how to do something. So if you wanted to use it in that way, you absolutely could. Now, this collection is my collection. And so I have placed this in here for you because Digital Citizenship Week was last week. And I want to talk a little bit about why are we going to teach digital citizenship? Well, if you're thinking about your students and preparing them for their future, and you look at these top 10 skills of 2025, I promise you that they're going to need every single one of those. So leadership, social influence, technology use, monitoring, and control, you can utilize Wakelet to teach so many of those things listed there. So additionally, I've added in some different graphics, some videos for you. You actually can go in and take these. I'll show you this collection. You can click on a collection and you can make a copy of it. So if you make a copy, Alex has made it to where you can make a copy, use his collection as your own, or you can just save that collection for later. It will go into your bookmarks. So I wanted to make sure that you have that. There's lots of great resources here from a lot of our trainers and community members, but definitely check that out. Another really great graphic that I wanted to share was project-based learning, performance, portfolios, presentations, and problem-based lessons. So this is another example of our alternative assessments with Wakelet, giving you some ideas on how you can apply Wakelet to these ideas, really just depending on where you are with your students in this process. So this is a link, and it is going to take you into a deep dive over student portfolios, what student success looks like. You're going to hear from real students who have put together portfolios and tell you exactly how it has helped them. And we talk a lot about future ready now. We've given you some examples of different ages of students, so you can see how they're standing out among their peers. You also can book a demo. So if you wanted an example demo, if you wanted to really deep dive on portfolios, we have a link there and you can book with the rest of our team to have that. And then the Student Ambassador Program. So the Student Ambassador Program, I was honored to help create this program, and I believe in this program so much. And here's why. The Student Ambassador Program is going to take Wakelet and digital learning skills and mesh them together. So when you as a teacher go here, you enroll your students into this program, you are going to receive everything you need to get started. And the beauty of this program is that you can take those tasks and you can pull them into your learning management system, and you can pace your students really however you see fit. So it's up to you how you pace those students. You could have them finish the ambassador program in 6 weeks. You could have them finish the ambassador program over the course of a whole year or a semester. You could have this program just be supplemental or enrichment material. It's really up to you, and that's the beauty of it. So anybody can sign up and enroll their students, and this really just is a fun way for them to learn Wakelet without you having to guide them step by step, and also they're learning digital citizenship skills. So I've included that link in your resources. I've also included a video for you to watch. Wakelet student portfolios, you're more than a test score. It really just hits on seeing your students giving creative experiences, space to create and risk take with that, but showing learning and meeting those learning objectives and goals. So I've given you some resources, and here's what I want to leave you with. So these resources are actually going to be your action items. So the first resource I've given you, once you've signed up for a Wakelet account or logged into your account, now it's going to be time for you to get certified. And I am telling you that this will help you so much really understand the why behind Wakelet. Once you are certified, you'll get a certificate and a badge. But then what you'll do is you'll start creating more collections. And I've even given you some extra instructions here using Scribe. And then I've given you some activity cards. So this will just help you really guide your own learning and have something that you can use with your students. So this is an activity to create a lesson plan collection. So you can create your own lesson plan from scratch, or you can use the template below to make a copy. So you would click on my collection. You will see make a copy here. I own this collection, so I don't see that. I can see it, but you'll see it quicker. So you can make a copy of this and you can go through and you can change the text. You can change the, like I have you Google Classroom, maybe you use Canvas. You can change the link here. You can change the intro, delete out anything you don't want, or edit the text on anything that you want to keep. So this is just a really great example to get you started. The second activity card that you can choose, so you don't have to do both of them, but I think this is a really great way for you to practice and also give it some meaning and purpose for your students immediately. Creating a choice board collection. So again, I've given you instructions. You can create your own, or you can use the template below. So this is a template of a choice board, and you'll notice it is in columns. So Alex is using the column layout on this. There are different layouts for each collection, so you can use whatever you want, but he has guided the students to resources, standards, part 1, part 2, part 3. So you can change that up. You can go in once you make a copy and you can make it look however you want it to look. So the design button is here. I can change the cover image with anything that I've created or designed right with Canva. I can do the same thing with the background. And here are those layouts. So there are 5 layouts to choose from. Depending on your purpose or end goal, that is how you would determine using each of these layouts. So that is your action item, right? So you're going to go get certified. You're going to work on these activities. And then I would say you can get your students enrolled in that ambassador program. So that gives you some actionable steps. And you're going to reach out to the Wakelet team. We're all available to help guide you as you are working and creating and have questions. The last thing I have for you is to join the community. I know that we've already talked about this a couple of times, but joining the community is a really easy, fun experience, and it gets you in community with those people who have the same role as you, whether it's librarian or instructional technology, ELA teacher, elementary teacher, a music teacher. So you can join today. It is open to everybody. So you'll become a community member first. Once you're a community member, you can apply to be a community leader. And then after becoming a leader, you can become an ambassador. And with the ambassador level, you get a lot of perks. You are invited to special webinars. You also get some special swag. But really beyond that, you have the ability to meet with other ambassadors and really refine your craft and become really motivated by some of the things that they're doing in their classrooms. Now you'll notice that I have embedded here a business card, and it is a live business card. So you can click on any of these links to follow Wakelet. You can follow me on LinkedIn or Twitter. If I zoom out of that, you can see that in full screen. So LinkedIn or Twitter, wakelet.com is where you would sign up. If you scan that QR code, it will actually take you to my Wakelet profile, but to make it really easy, I added that profile here below for you. So I don't want to take up any more of your time, but I do want to remind you at the very top of this page, in order to win swag, you're going to fill out that form. You're going to answer those questions. You're going to hit submit, and I will contact you via email.